Hello everyone, it is the Uncensored Match Build Up show. We're on the countdown to kick off. I'm Paul Machin. Alongside me is Steve Hutt, and over at the board it is the man, the legend, Chris Page. Look at him, fit, firing and ready to deliver the team news as and when it finally comes out, which should be in about 11 minutes time for true confirmation. And you know, we've had the league team as always. We've seen that doing the rounds on social media, but we will also know who the substitutes are going to be for this huge
it's a big
game
one.
of football. Huge game of football. Steve,
yes.
You, to keep it PC for the moment, said you were absolutely shitting your guts out at this the prospect of this game.
Where was the PC bit there?
In
fact, you made it less PC than how I said it.
It's perfectly politically correct to talk about pissing out of your arsehole, Steve.
That's what I said, though.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
I didn't. You broke. It's fine. You broke guts into it. I didn't bring guts into it. No, it's
Steve is currently turning inside out via his rectum.
Yeah. Steve is. No, it's not. I am very nervous of this game. I absolutely am. Going to United is never nice. Going to United in a title race when you know you have to pretty much win, given what happened yesterday as well, and what happened a couple of weeks ago. Like, I absolutely am nervous. You know, we are in the business end of the season, and the nerves are going to be palpable around every single game, and this is always a game that you dread. I never look forward to Old Trafford, even when even when we've gone there and beaten them 5 before those games. You've been nervous, so absolutely, I'd be lying if I said I was comfortable with it. But I trust the lads. I trust them wholeheartedly. You know, they're the best Liverpool team we've seen for a while now, obviously in terms of what they've done recently. But absolutely, mate, yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, because yesterday has only just taken the nerves from 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10. It's a big one, yeah. Chris mentioned before, it's a real big one.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
Fine.
I'm fed up.
Absolutely fine. Man United are shite, it's fine. Right.
I know, Paul, sorry, but I know, right? But that never stops this. Everton are shite as well. I feel the same before derbies.
We always beat them as well. Right, okay, sounds. This week's big game is brought to you by Match Bingo, where every goal, save, throw, corner or substitution can win you cash prizes. Download the app from the link in the description, or use the QR code, which is in the top corner of the screen right here. I'm going to hold on for a second, it's going to change. Could have taken ages, and I'm really glad it didn't. Yes, you can win big cash prize from just a £2 stake on today's game. The total cash pot for United versus Liverpool is a whopping £1,075. Yes, you can win £500 for getting the full house, £25 if you're the first to get a line, and £50 if you're the first to get 2 lines. And there's also an extra £500 full house bonus available. So as events happen, like a corner or a throw-in, they stamp the card that you get throughout it, and then the ultimate aim is to stamp all your icons to be the first to win a full house. We can show it because Steve is going to demonstrate. Steve is going to actually take part.
I'm going to open
right
the card
here,
now,
right now. Yeah, he's going to get his card.
There we go. Let's see what I've got. It's having a little load. There we go. View me card. Let's see what I've got today then. I have got... got it. I don't need to know that. I need a left-footed goal for Man United. I mean, I don't want that, but fair enough. If I get one, fair enough. Man United kick off, I reckon I'll get one of them. Liverpool to get a free kick. I mean, that isn't guaranteed, by the way. Keith Keller to attempt to save. So there's loads going on. Yeah, I need a penalty awarded as well for someone. I mean, at Old Trafford, that could be a bit dodgy as well. Then a goal in a minute that ends with 9. I've got loads going on. Who's this? Liverpool to score a header. Darwin, I fancy Darwin to do me good on that one. So yeah, I've got
Verge,
yeah. Oh, Verge off a corner. Yeah, it's right in itself. And what's this one? A goal kick to be. I reckon I'm fine with some of those. So yeah, I'm confident.
So yeah, obviously, as we say, you've got to get a line all the way across, or you've got to get every single one throughout the full length of the match. And anyone who's ever played bingo, you know, look, we're all keen caravanners, aren't we? Which means we're all keen bingo players. Always good for a fun time. And yeah.
Do I have to shout full house if we want to win? Like, actually,
don't shout house.
Not full house.
No.
That's strange, isn't it?
Because you've got to be succinct. You've got to get there first. I don't think it counts in this particular instance. But if you can shout house and take your top off, then that'll be absolutely amazing. Mainly just the house bit, if I'm being honest. So, Yes, all cards cost £2. 35% will go to the Stroke Association charity as well. Plus, every week you can play their Bingoals game. That's easy for me to say. And you'll also get 10 free cards for selective matches each month. Don't forget to please play responsibly. You have to be over 18 and a UK resident to get involved. So yes, scan the QR code or use the link in the description, because obviously that makes us look good. That is specifically linked to us. So don't just search for it in App Store. Click the link, scan the QR code, make us look and feel
And we're all
good.
playing.
We are. We are indeed. Anyone who watched the match preview will know that I did my card. You've done yours, and we'll see Chris's a little later on as well. We're going head to head throughout the watch along. Oh God! Can we just see Chris, please? Chris has just given me the look of yeah.
That is a competitive person. He said head to head, and I was like, right, I'm winning this. There's no chance.
And you know what? And it's a game. It's not even something that really you can control that much. Like you're still so competitive.
It is because I've got more cards than you.
Oh right, fair.
Right. Oh, wow.
Dabbled,
There hasn't been a look like that given in this office since I casually joked that if we win an FCA award or Ross loses his job. I laughed and then looked across the office at Ross to let him know that was a real thing.
And Ross no longer works here.
Ross, funnily enough, no longer works here. Yeah. Not because we sacked him, because he just couldn't live with the pressure. Anyway.
Can't handle the heat, man. You get out that kitchen sometimes. Is what it is.
Absolutely. So, yes, the game itself. Chris Pajak, how are you feeling?
I am nervous. I'm like Steve, and yeah, I'm like you as well. I know that Man United aren't as good as us, but it is Liverpool, it is Manchester United, it is at Old Trafford, and they did beat us a couple of weeks ago. Although I do think that actually stands us in better stead for this one. I think now, knowing exactly what we need to do, having watched Arsenal, having watched Manchester City, it will have focused the minds of the players, and they'll be heading to Old Trafford knowing exactly that they need to get the job done this time, not to let Manchester United off the hook like they did a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I'm expecting a big performance from the lads, and I'm expecting goals from Liverpool Football Club today, and lots of them.
Haslar, 12, says, hungover as shit and barely slept. I need this to be as routine as possible. Sorry, mate.
Have you watched Liverpool Football Club ever?
What a divvy. Don't be like that. Don't do that to yourself in these games. See, I'm feeling okay because I'm feeling okay. You know, if I was in a state here, I'd be in much more of a state than I am.
Yeah,
Gotta look after yourself.
That was a bad move.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah. You can't get hungover watching the Reds.
Rookie
constantly
mistake.
hungover.
You can't be hungover if you don't sober up. Simon Mackham with the super chat says, "Afternoon, Redmen. How are we up the Reds?" Yeah, there's a mixed bag. Bit like our match bingo cards. You've got me on one side. You've got Steve on the other side, and Chris is somewhere in the middle.
I refuse to believe that you're as calm as your projector. I think this is a facade.
No, I'm excited.
Thin veneer.
A little bit.
Feel free, by all means. I'm genuinely excited about it. And if I delve into it more, it's like anything. It's like thinking about all the worst things that could happen in your life. I could happily. There's a rich spring of anxiety there that I could drink from if I really wanted to.
I need some mental health guidance.
But what's the point? You know,
it's like our trip to Dublin when you were completely chilled and I was stressed about every single second of it.
Pacing the floor.
Honestly, I was every single part of it. This is an insight to both our characters, and then Chris was drunk, which again.
I think one of my favourite moments was when the sound went off in Belfast, and so the sound had gone off for about 10-15 minutes. Paul's at the front just getting everyone sing. I'm sort of wondering what's going on and speaking to the lads drinking Guinness, and Steve's just in the back like this, just shaking his head with his hands, holding his face, just shaking his head. And I think it was glorious. It was my favourite moment, I think, of the entire weekend.
That in between you two doing the very dad thing of like hovering over the sound desk, knowing that you haven't got a fucking clue any of it works.
I mean, to be fair, Paul, I had a torch on my phone for the lads. I was actually helping them, which is like a thing to do. When you don't know how to do stuff, make it easier for them. Yeah. Here's a light, lads. Is that okay for you?
I was putting the pressure on the man to hurry up and fix the fucking sound, please. That was I mean, whether it worked. Listen, he fixed it, so maybe it did.
I've just found Ryan Gravenberch over there.
No, good in.
Okay, let's go. Forgot all about him.
Says here at midnight in Australia for kick-off, work at 5 a.m. Please, LFC. Yeah. Said this before, like again, and I have nothing but respect for people who are able to follow the football club when it exists at that time of your life, because I would have another hobby if you know what I mean. That's one of the reasons why I don't follow American sports. I quite like baseball, but it's on at stupid hours and times of the day, so I don't follow it.
That's why I gave up my WWE wrestling fandom.
Yeah.
I grew up.
I tried to stay up and watch WrestleMania last night, and I didn't because I like sleep more than I like anything that happens after 1 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, but also what I'll say is doesn't entitle you to anything. So you've increased the stress on yourself by being in that hemisphere, and that's fair. That's absolutely fine. But it's like literally just you should have took the day off work, is what I'm saying. If you're awake at 5 o'clock, that's on you for not taking a day off work.
Yeah, there was a this game's been arranged for a while. There was a holiday to be taken there, wasn't there? It's like when my NFL fandom sometimes. I often go along the route of record it, avoid my phone, wake up and watch it. Is often my go-to. So yeah, Maya, if you staying up all night and then going straight to work. Hopefully they win. Otherwise your shift's going to be a little bit of a stinky one, isn't it? Yeah,
no, it's right. I really like this from the Jalea family. Is saying we're calm as a Van Dijk.
I'm more Lovren at this point.
Could be good, could be shit. Who knows?
Everything's on the table here.
Yeah. No, I feel all right. Genuinely, because look, where I'm at with it, it's a really exciting game of football.
It is.
And you're right, the pressure has been added to this, but it goes two ways. So I can spin this, and I've got no idea how the game's going to go. No one does. But I could spin it in two ways. I could say, City, haven't gone a goal down, turned it round against Crystal Palace and kind of cruised it in the end. Arsenal got past Brighton quite comfortably in the end. Liverpool are now not top of the table, and then if they want to go back top of the table, then a win. We need a win to get back up there again, because of the goal difference thing, particularly. But this game is going to be watched by every Arsenal fan, every Manchester City fan, the Manchester City team, the Arsenal team, all the coaches, and we've got an opportunity here to beat one of our famous rivals, go back top of the table, and upset all of them as well. Right, the team is out. Christopher Pajak, do you know what you're doing?
I've got no idea, because it's a number order, isn't it? So
sad. Do you want me to find it and read it for you?
Yes, please.
Cool, I will do that momentarily. Yes, the confirmed team is out. We've been rumoured of a back four of Robertson, Van Dijk, Quansah and Bradley, and I can confirm that is the case. So, in goal, Caoimhin Kelleher.
Yeah, I think we're in. I'm missing one sub if you want me to just go through it.
Do you want me to go through the subs?
Yeah, right. In goal then. Caoimhin Kelleher, no problem whatsoever. Andy Robertson left back. Virgil van Dijk. Jarell Quansah, Conor Bradley, Endo, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Diaz, Nunes, Salah. Substitutes-wise, I think I've got 10.
Adrian,
yes. Gomez.
Konate. Jones.
Yeah.
Gakpo.
Yeah.
Elliott.
Yeah.
Tsimikas.
Yeah.
Gravenberch.
Yeah.
Dance.
Get rid of the Clark. Clark played yesterday for the under-21s.
So good knowledge.
There you go.
Excellent knowledge. So the big talking point, I suppose, is around there. There's one change from the last game at Old Trafford. Joe Gomez played right back. Everything else is exactly the same. In that game, McAllister played on the right-hand side, I think, and Szoboszlai on the left-hand side. McAllister, obviously, I think, was linked to maybe Joe Gomez. So the question mark for me is who plays in which position of the 8 here? Is it Dom Szoboszlai on the left, or is it Alexi McAllister on the left-hand side? Other than that, I imagine Quansah and Bradley will both be paired off on that right-hand side, Van Dijk and Robertson to the left-hand side. We know the front three is going to set up like that. Anyone fancy a guess at which way round these are going?
I'd swap them.
No, I think it's that.
There you go. That clear as mud. I think you might have jumped the shark a little bit, Chris, with the big talking, but surely Quansah over Konate is the story here. I mean, Ibu, I know we got a knock the other day, but the fact that Ibu played against Sheffield on Thursday and then misses Manchester United on Sunday, that's huge. It's obviously a manager's call, because he could easily have just played Quansah on Thursday, and you know what I mean? He obviously trusts Gerrard.
Well, you're saying that, but actually look at the back four in general. We're playing our 2 attacking fullbacks away at Old Trafford. We're playing our 2 flying fullbacks. That is an oof decision for me, in addition to Quansah, of course, but I wonder whether, Chris, we'll see that back four playing a little bit like we did at the back end of the Sheffield United game, where Bradley will be asked to be a bit more defensive and a bit more inverted if needs be, and we're just going to unleash Robertson down that left-hand side.
I think so. I think it's probably a testament to how much Andy Robertson changed the game midweek.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, he puts the ball into the box that ends up McAllister ends up smashing the goal apart with, and then he obviously gets the assist for Gakpo as well. And I was saying this on my match reaction at the time. The problem that I had during the build-up phase against Sheffield United is they were obviously playing a really low block. These lads were getting all down here. It was Joe Gomez at the time rather than Andy Robertson, so I'll put him in there to sort of highlight this point. And the ball was always into the half space here, and what was ending up happening is rather than whip a ball in left-footed, Szoboszlai was going around and playing it back this way, and we had too many inverted players against Sheffield United, and I think that might be one of the reasons that he's gone for this, because with Bradley, right-footed player playing on the right-hand side, Robertson, left-footed player on the left-hand side, you just saw the impact that Robertson had, because when he was there, he was whipping the ball in, it was causing them problems, and we're expecting, I think, to pin Manchester United back again, and I think that's why. I think he's got trust that, you know, these maybe 5 players can hold Manchester United from getting into their half, and Robertson will push forwards massively. Bradley will pick and choose his moments to be able to join the front 5 players and stuff. So that's what it comes down to for me, and it's because just too many inverted players. We just didn't have a left-footed player on the left-hand side against Sheffield United until Robertson came in, and the difference he made was phenomenal.
I really like what we're doing here, and it says to me, we talked about this on the match preview show about how we didn't get to grips with Manchester United for the first 15 minutes of the game last time around. I think they shocked us a bit with how attacking they are, or where, and I wonder whether this is something where Liverpool have gone, we don't want that again. You know, we know how to play against Manchester United, because if they come out and attack us, then we know what that looks like now. And if they go back to type, and that is to be, you know, to defend for their lives, then we were already well prepared for that. So actually, let's get on the front foot, and rather than, because I thought the Gomez at right back thing made real sense last time out with Rashford and what have you, to make sure we kept the door shut. But this feels to me a bit like, don't forget keeping the door shut because we don't think they're good. Let's go and actually get this game not won in the first 15, but let's go and really lay a marker down.
And listen, you mentioned before, ultimately you're right, that Liverpool are better than Manchester United. What we don't need is that, which is exactly what happened in the cup game, is you give them something and you get that crowd behind you, because you know, like, the one thing Liverpool haven't dealt with always at Old Trafford is when it gets really hostile really fast. Liverpool sometimes haven't always dealt well with that. Liverpool have gone there sometimes and wiped the floor with them and quietened it down really quickly. And I think you're right, when you go Conor Bradley and you go Andy Robertson, you're basically saying we're coming here to beat you, we're going to be on the front foot, we're going to have the ball. I think the fact that Endo's been playing so well helps as well, because effectively even if they both go, you know, Endo drops in and makes it a 3, and he's been comfortable doing that as well. So you are right. I completely agree with Chris. I thought the Gomez inverting thing against Sheffield just made the pitch far too compact. Liverpool needed to, you know, get it wide often, stretch Sheffield, and it's the same with Man United today. Really, obviously they've got injuries, and we're going to talk through their team in a moment. I do believe that if Liverpool can stretch that pitch, make it as wide as possible, and allow the likes of McAllister, Szoboszlai time on the ball, I think when Gomez inverts, and Bradley might do it a little bit today, but it'll mean that Luis Diaz stays wide left and Andy Robertson will stay wide left. I think the other day when it was Gomez coming in, it all just felt a little bit too, it was too easy for Sheffield. I think we need this Man United side in space, miles away from each other, and then we'll pick them off.
But also the other thing there is, you're right, it's the speed with which Liverpool can attack at. I think with Andy Robertson there, we're just much more likely to attack more quickly down that left-hand side.
He can whip that ball with his left, Chris, because I've loved Joe Gomez, and I think he's been great left back, but what we have seen is that he bombs down the left and he has to come back every single time. And we saw the other day the benefit with Cody Gakpo's goal of just that first time left-footed crossing behind, how beneficial that can be sometimes. I think the fact that Robertson can do both, you know, he's able to go down the left, but he can cut inside and find his players. I think Sheffield United found it a little bit easy with Joe Gomez, just to know actually he's not going to hit us, he's not going to do nothing down there. The second Robbo came on, the pitch was just so much wider, and I think that really suits us, because
I think you get Luis Diaz in the box more when you've got Robertson on the left-hand side as
100%,
well.
I don't know whether you've got the Man United side.
I will come to the United
really
side in 2 seconds. I'm just going to read through some of these super chats that we've had in the meantime. Christopher Campbell, who went just too early / too late for this one. Ryan Gravenberch probably start over Endo, incorrect, but thanks so much anyway. Dylan Fletcher, Says, we've got options off the bench, which we didn't have last time. Hopefully that will make a difference.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely on that one. In fact, actually, I got this up, so I can have a quick look at it.
Bench last time?
Yeah, the bench last time. It's actually not wildly different. But Bradley and Clark are obviously on the bench for that one, alongside James McConnell as well. So we do have a little bit more.
But Curtis is the one in it. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. Curtis Jones, he would have been very close to starting this game.
If he was fully fit, he'd have been in my team.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. William Rigby says, to win the game, would you rather a Nunes bicycle kick or a Gomez halfway line volley up the title chasing Reds? I only want Joe Gomez to score now if it's the winning goal in a football match. There would be nothing more disappointing than Joe Gomez to score like the fifth in a 5-1 win, as far as I'm concerned. Unless he then goes on and scores another one that wins it, you know. But I would like it. I'd like his first goal to be
I mean, I'd take either, but I wouldn't mind a Darwin, Wayne Rooney. A better overhead than Rooney's at Old Trafford. I want that, yeah.
Call it like New Trafford when we're done, because they did that Juan Field nonsense. So like, let's have our own absolute nonsense.
What if Gomez scores a go trap? No, it doesn't work, does it? I tried. We failed.
Go Trafford.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work.
Worth a go.
Joel Trafford. Joe Trafford. Nah,
because it's fine.
I mean, that just sounds like Burnley's goalie. I think that might be his name.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I'm not going to be a headline writer, am I?
It says, with Endo's rise and Stefan's return, do you guys still want another DM in summer? Also, message the boss that I'm sick and won't make
there
work.
You go.
Let's go. Well done.
Second part. I mean, I don't care what the summer, man. Who gives a shit? Let's just win the league. Endo's magnificent. Endo's absolutely magnificent, and if he plays well today, Liverpool have got a good chance. But Shetic is he was the high point of last season for me, is emerging. So yeah, we haven't even had him all year, which goes to show how good he can be. But listen, mate, we haven't even got a manager. Fucking hell, let's just win this. Let's get through this one first.
I think that things can change in the coming weeks. But I've never been more generally secure in the quality of a Liverpool squad.
Yeah, the squad's magnificent.
There's some interesting conversations. There's one or two players I think who will be interesting conversations, but there's no. Doesn't feel like there's any dead wood in this squad, which I think is a real turn up. It's Crossbow says Endo start. It's over for United. 3-1 Liverpool. YNWA. Okay, let's do the Manchester United team. So yeah, Andre Onana, Diogo Dalot. Now, do we think this is going to be Dalot at left back or Wan-Bissaka right back? Because they did the other way round.
And then they switched it, so we saw it both.
Yeah,
they do a little bit of both, don't they? Yeah.
Willy Camboala starts alongside Harry Maguire at centre-half, Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro in midfield, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Alejandro Garnacho and then Rasmus Højlund up front. So obviously shorter centre-halves. Chris, how are you feeling?
You've stuck to Willian.
I'm fine with that side, to be honest with you. I think obviously a 19-year-old centre-half partnered by Harry Maguire should be able to be got at by Liverpool's attacking players. Also, I know he's not on the bench or anything but Scott McTominay is going to be a big miss for them. He obviously seems to always play well whenever I'm looking at him. So Casemiro and Mainoo, I'm looking at that thinking, yeah, we can get the better of that midfield. Obviously, we know their front four is good, and that will probably cause us a few problems down the left-hand side. So interesting to see what Kwanzaa and Bradley are able to do against them. But that fills me with confidence, to be honest with you. I'm looking at that going, our side is better. I knew that going in. It's confirmed now by the players that each team have decided to field. And I feel really confident that Liverpool can get something today.
The Casemiro one's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously McTominay has been playing a little bit more. Casemiro's been in and out. I think you want to just leg him. Like Casemiro's been. Listen, what a career he had. But like in the last, he's gone a little bit Fabinho-ish. In that it looks like it's come very very sudden for him. So if you can get, Mainoo's been fantastic and he is the energy. But if you've got a Casemiro Maguire spine, I think you can give that a bit of a run around. They're not the most fluid players. They're really solid. But if Liverpool can knock, like we mentioned before, get them in space, the last thing you want is them to be compact with Casemiro and Maguire. You want them on islands. So that's what I'm saying. Get Salah wide, get Diaz wide, and spread them out. It does feel
though like maybe this is a movement, because what we saw about them is like they've got the defensive lads and they've got the attacking lads, and then there's nothing in between. that Casemiro might give them something in between, which is the difference, because we had free run at their back four so many times in the FA Cup game. Casemiro, if you just ask, if Mainoo's just being his legs and just saying you just sit in and break play up, then that's a good call, I think, from Ten Hag potentially in there. But as you got 90 minutes and look at what they've got off the bench, obviously Christian Eriksen, Amad Diallo, Mason Mount, I'm a little surprised he's not started, if I'm honest, because he's been getting there over the last couple of games. Scored in the week as well.
I thought Anthony might have started over Rashford. Now Rashford's record against Liverpool probably tips it in his favour. Rashford, obviously, we know, has hurt us a lot in the past, but Anthony actually in recent games has done all right. And Rashford's actually struggled a little bit. But again, I'm guessing it's more down to his record against us and the fact that we know what the game plan is. They're gonna try and get in behind Conor Bradley with Rashford on that left. But yeah, like, to be fair, I watched the rest of the Chelsea game after us on Thursday, and I went back and watched it, and Anthony actually looked at a bit more of a threat. His pass actually for Garnacho's goal was really good. And Rashford has struggled, but like you say, it's one of those where, like, there's always certain players who you pick against certain teams. Opposition have always often done that to Liverpool, haven't they? Like, how many times was like Antonio wasn't in the team and then West Ham just picked him or something, and it feels like he's gone with that more than the form team. Because I certainly he's probably been in better form than Rashford.
Chris?
I think on the midfield thing with the Casemiro and Mainoo thing is, I take your point about him being the legs, and it's going to be obvious that he is. The problem is he's the legs for pretty much all of the lads in front of him as well, because Bruno Fernandes ain't going to be doing any work. Rashford, we've seen his pressing over the last few weeks highlighted on Twitter a lot. Garnacho, to be fair to him, does work really hard. And I think when you think about Szoboszlai, when you think about McAllister, and when you think about Endo, the work rate that our midfield has compared to theirs, it's non-existent. Like, it's a different game altogether. These lads are going to completely outwork them. I'd actually like to see Szoboszlai go up against Casemiro, because, you know, Casemiro, as you say, you want to try and get him on an island. This lad will run past him. I don't think McAllister will. He'll pass it around him. But Szoboszlai will just get the ball and go. And then it doesn't matter how close Manu is. He's not going to be able to catch Tom Szoboszlai because he's got other areas of the field to look at. So yeah, I think that could be a really key matchup now. I haven't seen their side, the Szoboszlai and hopefully Casemiro matchup.
Big challenge that, isn't it? Again, McAllister potentially versus Casemiro, because that would be the opposite they'll look for. They'll probably look to say, go and get on McAllister and stop him from dictating play. But yeah, you've got the South American matchup in midfield there. We've got a couple of super chats to go through before we wrap up. Ineri Ironheart says, girl I was seeing just binned me off over text. Let's not make this a bad day. Come on, you Reds. Oh, can we all send some love to Ineri there?
That's horrible. Like, it could have at least used WhatsApp. It annoys me when you get a text message.
Video call, anything like
over text. That shit. How's that in it?
Poor form, that, isn't it? Yeah,
you're better off, son.
I mean, unless you're a gobshite.
Unless it was like, you've cheated on me, you prick, I'm leaving you. Then you deserve that. But if it's just,
we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
We're going to presume that it was her fault.
The girls are twat.
Well, he's watching this, so he's not a gobshite.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you're on it. Sorry,
Christopher Campbell. Fucking hell. Go on, Chris, you want to do your P45 joke?
No,
he knows.
Just email it to him and I'll
just text me your sack.
Yeah, Steve's getting binned off by the text. Christopher Campbell says we have to be tough in this game. It's hard to collapse between Arsenal and Liverpool. We'll fight for it hard to call. I'm sure there should have been some sort of
we have to be tough in this game
somewhere.
It's hard to collapse. It's between Liverpool and Arsenal. It's not though, is it? Like you just ruling Man City out. What today is the game that Paul mentioned before. Every Arsenal fan and every City fan are... I mean, we've had texts off some of them saying, you know, I think they're watching and they're hoping we lose. I've got a couple of Arsenal fan mates who have said the same to me. Like, they're all hoping that Liverpool slip up. This is Liverpool's chance to go out and go, right, bang, top of the league. There's potentially our toughest game on paper.
I want them not watching after 5 minutes.
Yeah. Like me, when Kevin De Bruyne scored, I was like, that's
100%. That was the one mercy that happened with that Crystal Palace game, was that was done early into the second half. It was realistically done when they equalised in the first, but at least they spared us having to sit through it and have our hearts
Those games don't exist until 60 for me.
Yeah.
They just don't. It's not worth it. I'll look at my WhatsApps about them for a bit, and I'll tune in on about 60 to see whether I'm going to watch the end of the game or not.
Yeah, I didn't watch Arsenal at all.
Just lastly, on the Rashford thing, 7 goals and 17 appearances. He's the highest goal scorer of anyone currently in that Manchester United squad against Liverpool, doing 3rd total for players who scored for United against us. The player who's got the most goals in this fixture is one Mohamed Salah, 13 goals in 14 appearances.
Big game player.
He scored in his last 3 games at their gaff.
Let's hope that continues today. Right, sound. Do scan the QR code to get involved with Match Bingo. You're going to see us playing along with it during the watch along, Chris and I. So yeah, come and have a bit of fun with us for that. And yeah, obviously all the things that we've mentioned, link in the description, QR code, and please be responsible, be over 18, and of course you've got to be a UK resident as well.
Who's getting me out of the Liverpool goal? Nunes or Verge?
We'll have to watch and find out. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back with the watch along shortly. Ta-ra. Thank you so very, very much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. The season is now well underway. If you need extra Redmen content, be it podcasts, videos, documentaries, interviews, and general shows, fill your boots on redmenplus.com today.